Hello, YouTube Lamb, and welcome to the Get In and Get Out Nintendo podcast, episode 62. 7 to go for the big show, Big 69. I am your host, Dantes, and of course, joining me, like always, Caleones. How you doing, Caleones?
Hey, how you doing, Dantes? How you doing, everybody? And Dantes, we have a special guest today, which everybody can see sandwiched in between us on the stream.
Yeah, a little rough there, sandwich in between two dudes, but that's okay.
But hey, that's what we gotta do for the love of Nintendo and talking about this podcast. So finally somebody can hear from somebody else outside from both of us, so they can get a little better perspective. But go ahead and introduce him so everybody can get acquainted with him.
Of course. Also joining us today, a special guest, RX Gaming.
Yo! What up, guys? It's RX Gaming. That's my intro, by the way. That's how I go. Sorry.
Hopefully, no one was too close to the sound bar on their house.
Oh man. How you guys doing? It's RX Gaming here.
So give us a little bit of background, RX Gaming. What is type of games that you like, and also do a plug, what we call a cheap plug to your channel. You have to do that, of course.
Oh man. Well, my favorite genre of gaming is platformers, so like Mario, Celeste, stuff like that. Just got into RPGs with Xenoblade, and I mostly in my channel do Nintendo related stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. And with the plugs, got you guys with the cheap plugs, all right?
Go ahead. What is the name of the channel so people can go and visit you?
RX Gaming.
RX Gaming, right? There you go. Put it in there. You got a nice, beautiful search bar on YouTube, and you guys can find him. He'll plug it in today, also in the chat. So please be aware, be ready. But with that said, appreciate RX Gaming for joining us. But I think it's time to hit that sweet rigmarole so we can start the show. Oh, wait. Well,
there's one more piece of news, and it is that Inkling G's 13th birthday is today. So happy birthday to Inkling G and the Toys More Club channel. Happy birthday. She's celebrating it right now by not playing Nintendo and actually playing PlayStation and some Sword Art Online. So yes, everybody just wish Inkling G and the Toys More Club channel a big happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Okay, let's start the show. We're not gonna get all sappy here in this show because we got stuff to discuss today. Of course, I want to welcome everybody to the Get In and Get Out Nintendo podcast, episode 62, right here at the Force In Unison gaming channel. Please remember to subscribe, like, comment, and hit that bell so you can make these 3 crazy MFs happy. Also remember, hey, if you don't want to see ugly faces, it's all good. We got a solution for you. Go to SoundCloud and iTunes and download this podcast for free. Rate us over there so you can show up some love. Also, description box below so you can see the full channel schedule. Remember, tomorrow, PlayStation Mondays. I'll keep playing a little bit of Spider-Man for your entertainment. Also, Facebook page at Force In Unison Gaming. And finally, and Dantes says finally, go to forceinunison.wordpress.com and give some clicks and love to my boy Caleones. With all that said, are you ready? I said, are you ready? For the no one in attendance and the 14 people watching around the world, let's get ready for Reggie's Hot Topics of the week.
My body is ready.
My body is ready, and Caleones, take it away with the big first piece of news.
Okay, so we have plenty of things to discuss today. Everybody knows that the Nintendo Switch Online launched just a couple of days ago. You've now had the chance to get it. You've tried it out, and we have our first impressions of the service. Also, we have a special discussion from Dantes, which he's going to be talking about microtransactions on the games and some experiences that he's seen based on another company jumping into it. But the big one right now is Sony is dipping its toe on Nintendo territory when it comes to classic consoles. The PS1 Classic has been announced, and is it a copying? Is Sony copying Nintendo, or does it not matter? So that's the big discussion right now. Dantes, go ahead and get it started.
Okay, I'll say my piece, and then we'll give a chance for RX Gaming to give his opinion on the PlayStation 1. He's a Nintendo guy, but, we want to see what he thinks about the PS1. But I'll start with three things. I want to target three groups. First group, the Xbox fanboys. They were saying that this is stupid after Sony said that old games don't matter. The backward compatibility is here to stay. That it is a great feature from the Xbox, which, to clarify, is a great feature from the Xbox. They were saying that Sony's being anti-consumer, X, Y, and Z. So let me kick that out of the way by saying that doesn't matter. This is a collector's item, the same as Nintendo. I mean, Nintendo has sold you the same games for like 5 generations, and you guys keep buying it. So, I mean, to me, that doesn't mean anything. It's just a collector's item. You want it. Yeah. You want it to save it with you. So, hey, it's all good. Just buy it. So, and but I do want to say the Xbox tweet about they have 500 free games since the Xbox original Xbox. That's fine. I think companies should have more balls and do a dig here and there, because honestly, there's too much love and sometimes gets boring. So, but if you took it personally, if you were a Sony fanboy and you got offended, you need a better life. Let me start there. But the second piece, Nintendo fans saying, oh, this is a copy. This is a copy. Oh, my God, Sony always copies Nintendo. The only thing I'm going to say, you know what? I wish Nintendo would copy Sony more, because maybe we'll have a better Switch online service. So in my head, I wish kind of Nintendo do a little bit more copying, and maybe it's better. I think copying is fine as long as you do it good. But then I go into the rant, as long as you do it good. Right, Caleones, right, RX Gaming. Here's my problem with this console, and why when I saw it, I was like, real, Sony? Really? First things first, they do not sell you the AC adapter. They do not sell you the AC adapter. They copy Nintendo so bad that they don't even sell you the AC adapter. That is the dumbest thing of all time. Not everybody, I know it's a USB charger. You can find them all over your house, but not everybody has 20 adapters around the house. Second, the controllers, no analog sticks. This is where you say companies just make dumb decisions consistently. Why in the blue hell, Sony, you did not put analog sticks on your damn controllers? It's just, okay, you want to go old school? No one wants to play with those controllers. Trust me, those controllers are a piece of crap. And finally, and the last thing that I was going to say is, I really wish that Sony would have been smart, would have connected this to PSN. They would have trophies. They would have a lot of connectivity that you could download all PS1 games. I would be happy to pay $150 for this console if it would have had like a small hard drive that you could download some games and you could expand the library from what it comes with, and that you could connect to. I'm not asking for online play. I'm just asking for some connectivity. Why in the hell am I gonna play all these old games if I cannot get my sweet trophies, Sony? Anyway, those are my three gripes about the PlayStation Classic. But I want to give RX Gaming a chance to give his opinion on this console. Go ahead, my friend.
Okay. I love it just because it takes me back to the days when 64 and PS1 was going after each other, just straight fighting, just straight, And on top of that, which I don't know if we're getting into this. I heard that the N64 is also coming out with a mini.
Yep.
And if that's true, it's like it takes me back to like my young days when people just you got Crash going to Nintendo of America and saying, "Oh, come out, plumber," this and that. So it's like it takes me back to the old battle days, and I just it's like it makes me happy. It makes me happy that that's happening right now. And is it a copy? Because people are saying that that the Sony is copying Nintendo with the minis. I feel like it is a copy, but like because they see the success of the NES and the Super Nintendo, why not jump in that train and Sony, make a mini with that?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm with you. A couple of people here chatting. What is up? Seth, Entertainment Games Daily. What is up? Nintendo saying Sony hates us. He doesn't hate us. They love us. They want our money. All companies love us because they want our money. Just reminder that. What is up, Luis Gomez? Mind Pro, what is up? Toys and More Club. And Pretty Not Pretty, what is up? Anyway, quickly to hit on that point, copying again, if you do it fine, I think it's fine. Copying,
Yeah.
I mean, Sony has copied Microsoft consistently on the online piece of it, right? And Microsoft has copied Sony consistently on giving value on the online, because remember, at first Microsoft was just charging you to play online. They were not giving you games until Sony started giving up games. That's when Microsoft said, "Oh crap, we have to do the same approach because we're losing customers." So I think that's fine copying as long as you do it right. And that's my problem. It's a nice mini, but Sony could have done way more than what they did. That's my problem with it. But Caleones, go ahead, Caleones, and you haven't talked. So I want to give a chance to throw those dicks at Sony. I know you're sharpening your guns. Go ahead.
Well, one of the points that Jungle 57 Mind Pro is bringing is that they are calling their classic console classic. So they're straight up ripping off Nintendo when it comes to the name. Like, they could not even come up with an original name. They had to use the same one. So if you ask consumers, which are not really familiar with Nintendo, PlayStation, Microsoft, Xbox and those, if you go ahead and call it the PlayStation 1 Classic, they're automatically going to assume, well, the NES Classic Edition, the Super NES Classic Edition, also the PlayStation 1 Classic Edition is the third one of the series that's coming out. So that's why the name, Sony's doing it two ways. They know that people already associate the classic name with the mini consoles, and they're just jumping straight in that. But still, like, if you're gonna copy something, maybe change it up a little. Give it a twist. Don't just like straight rip it off. And that's something that Mind Pro is saying. It is very, very true. Like, they even copied the name of it.
Well, they even copied not including a damn AC adapter. That's how great it is.
Well, and also the way that they displayed it. Like, did you see how the image of the hand holding the PS1 console? Like, it is the same image from the the NES and the Super NES. The same one that they came up with. And I know that there are certain people saying that yes, but before the NES Classic Edition, there was the Sega Classic or the Sega Retro console. But I'll say this, those Sega consoles were not made by Sega. It was a third-party game. It was at Games, and they were crap. I mean, they were really bad. And the second thing is that Sony would have not released a classic console, and I'll say this on the record, they would have not released it until Nintendo did, because they probably didn't see any value on it until they saw how much money Nintendo was making. There was even a month, I think it was May, June, that the NES Mini beat out the Nintendo Switch, the PlayStation 4, the Xbox One on sales. Like, the mini console beat everybody else on sales. So that's when Sony really took it into consideration, and they actually said, you know what, this is something that makes money, so we'll go ahead and do it as well. So, I mean, I can't really fault them for doing it, but what I'm really disappointed about is, like Dantes said, if you're gonna do it, then just take it, go the extra mile and make it 100% better than what Nintendo's doing. But you don't include the AC adapter. You don't include the analog, the DualShock controllers, which by not having the DualShocks, you're already limiting what type of games can be included on there. So
no Ape Escape. Ape Escape, that was fire back in the day, and now you're not gonna be able to play that game. So
So that's my biggest gripe with it. There's so many more things that they could have done, especially with a $100 price. I do understand that CDs, they hold more memory than this 8-bit and 16-bit cartridges from Nintendo. So yes, it's going to take up more memory, but I don't think it's going to be enough so that they can make it that big. But with what RX Gaming said, it is very interesting that like they're doing this, and somebody did mention on Twitter, which I thought it was funny, that they that Sony is actually waiting for the N64 Classic Edition just so they can add analog to their controllers. So they're keeping it classic, just like how the generation unfolded back then. But
well, Mind Pro says, yo, don't forget the best game ever, E.T. on Atari. Without them, Nintendo couldn't bring up their own console. So thanks to E.T., we got Nintendo now.
But thanks to ET, we got Nintendo saving the world of gaming in the 80s, because it almost bankrupt completely, but they saved it. So
Yeah, that's why you think of Nintendo like your god, Caleones, right? They're just saving you from yourself all the time, right?
well, like my childhood fairies.
Oh, a
Kinda
childhood fairy. Oh, okay, that's fine if you like fairies. Anyway, RX Gaming. Anything to add to this news before I close it out with one final thought that I was gonna say?
Do you? I know. I have a question for you guys.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you guys think how's the sales gonna do for the PS1 Mini Classic? Are they gonna do good, bad? What are you guys thinking?
I think it'll do fine. And I'll let Caleones answer that, but I think it'll do fine. And here's the reason why I think it'll do fine. Sony is finally in a spot. This is where the spot the Xbox wants to be. Sony's finally in a spot that they can do this. And what I mean with that is that they got a long history in gaming. They're the most recognizable brand on console gaming in the world. And I think there's going to be a lot of people who will buy this because of the childhood memories. PlayStation 1's, even though those games have not aged well, let me put it that way, they didn't age that well, they still look a little bit rough around the corners. Those games brought a lot of memories. RPGs on that generation, to me, was the best RPGs of all time for sure. You know, you got classics like Xenogears, you got Final Fantasy VII, who's gonna be in that console. You got Breath of Fire. You got Wild Arms, who's gonna be in that console. I'm guessing Legend of Dragoon is also gonna be in that console. So you got a lot of good RPGs that generation. So I think they will do really well with this. Now, will it sell as well as the Mini and as the Nintendo Mini and the Super NES Mini? No. And the reason that I say no is because Nintendo is nostalgic for all farts like me and Caleones. You're a young buck, RX Gaming, but for me and Caleones, who grew up with the NES Mini, it was the shit back in the day, right? And so that's what I say, nostalgia factor. I think the NES and the Super NES still have a bigger nostalgia factor than the PS1, but the PS1 is a recognizable brand. Now, finally, they're in that spot. Then maybe they can finally do their own Smash, because I know when they try, it's just plain suck. But maybe someday. But they're there, and I say you have to give respect to Sony, what they've done in the industry, and that's what I was gonna close out with. My thoughts is that they've grown as a brand that I think it's fine that they can copy. I'm just a little bit disappointed in the decisions that they took to go the extra mile with this and make it a real valuable. Don't copy Nintendo. Nintendo does a lot of stuff that I don't agree with. And I tell you, when I agree with them, I agree with them. When I don't agree with them, I don't agree with them. But do it better. Anyway, Caleones, I don't know if you want to answer that question a little.
I think it will, and it's because it's kind of like piggybacking off the success of the NES and Super NES, and that the classic name is very significant. It is very important because it's almost a brand. Like people are gonna see that name, they're gonna recognize the brand of the mini consoles, and that's why they're gonna go ahead and gravitate towards it. Plus, there's gonna be, I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a big campaign to try to make sure that people go ahead and buy it, especially from like quote unquote Nintendo or Sony fanboys, because they don't want to make they want to make sure that is going to be up there with the sales of the NES Mini and the Super NES Mini, because if not, people are just going to jump on it and they're going to try to put it down and all. But just being sincere, I'm probably going to end up getting one myself because that was of course my introduction to Sony and so many other RPGs that I would like to play as well. But I don't know how the graphics are going to look. I don't know how those are going to age, because the NES and the Super NES, those graphics, even though they're pixelated, they still look good. They translate really good to nowadays. So they and with Nerd like helping out and optimizing it, they look good. But when it comes to the PlayStation 1 graphics and Dantes on another shot we had, the Nintendo 64 graphics, we don't know how they're going to look nowadays. It might not work with the current HD TVs. So it is going to be very important how they're going to optimize it. So what do you think, RS Gaming? How do you think they're going to look?
I think it's gonna be controlled a little bit wonky, just because the D-pads. You just have D-pads, no analog sticks or nothing. I wonder how like a game like yeah, no, never mind. Yeah. The D-pads are the only thing that that's why the only reason I'm not getting it is the D-pad. It's that let down for me. So I think games are like just going to run a little bit wonky, you know, like
Yeah, if they include Metal Gear Solid 1, I mean, your D-pad is not going to be great for that game.
That's what I'm saying. I'm trying, yeah.
I agree, and then RX Gaming could represent a portion of the crowd who's buying this, who say, I'm not going to buy it because you didn't give me analog, so you're going to lose some sales.
Now the messed up part is like if they come out with like, oh, here you go, a controller with analog, and people just buy them.
Yeah, then I would be coming here on a rant and put my foot on Sony's candy ass, because that is anti-consumer. You do not sell a classic system and then go later and sell you the analog sticks. No. Anyway, with that, Caleones, I think we hammered that discussion. 20 good minutes. So let's go up to the next hot topic of the week.
Okay, and of course, the next hot topic of the week is the Nintendo Switch Online. It is our experiences with it. It's been out for, I guess it was on the 18th, so it's been out for 5 days. So, for those of you that love Splatoon, love ARMS, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and would like to play those online, you've had to get the service, either the 7-day trial or the 1 month subscription, the 1 year, or the family plan like me and Dantes did, to try to optimize our dollars. But yeah, like, what is your experience? What has your experience been so far with the service, Dantes, RX Gaming? What do you think?
Well, 1 second before we start with that topic, let's give a couple of questions in. MindPro asked, how would you feel about Microsoft releasing an Xbox Classic? So we'll get onto that one. And then Propenso, what is up, Propenso? Oh, and Big Bad Wheel, what is up? Propenso, what are the competitive games on the Switch? Splatoon, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, maybe a new Pokemon game in 2019. And then, so it's kind of challenging. And that one we can touch. We'll leave that question for when we talk about the Switch Online. But let's start with it. What do you guys feel about an Xbox Classic? RX Gaming?
It's not going to sell.
Oh, interesting. Why? Why is that? I want to hear this. Why is that?
They don't have I don't think it's there yet to be like a classic for them, Like Sony has their own classic with the PS1. It did amazing. It beat the 64. It has a name, right? Mm-hmm. The Xbox One, which is gonna sell, it's not like it's gonna do bad, but it's not gonna do big numbers like Sony and Nintendo will. Because those classic consoles that Nintendo and Sony put out is, there's story behind them. You grew up with them. Xbox is like, they didn't grab that much fan base when it comes to like the original Xbox. They didn't. They did, compared to the competition, I think Xbox was at last place, right?
Yeah, in that generation, they were in last place.
In the
first Xbox, the OG Xbox, like they call it now.
The OG Xbox was in last place, so people don't know it that much. People haven't played it that much to be like an OG system,
Yep, I'm with you there. I think if they would do a mini, they better do it with a 360. The original Xbox did not, did numbers. It really struggled, and they cut the generation short for them, because they want to get ahead of Sony. That generation, we worked out fine. It's just sent like 50% of their consoles to die because they all were heating up. But anyway, that's just an opinion for another day. Caleones, what are your thoughts? You think that Xbox OG Classic will sell?
Well, I think the hardest thing about it is because since Microsoft introduced, the basically playing online and the Xbox Live with the OG Xbox, it's going to be about, like having games like the original Halo, that you play online, with other people. So it's going to have online. It's not going to be just single player games, because those games absolutely need to have the online portion of it. Another thing is that you've already had that game, like remastered for the Xbox One. So as part of the Master Chief Collection. So are people really gonna go back and play it, since they already have a remastered version with all the all the assets? And I think it's it even has the 4K assets as well, if I remember correctly. So it's going to be a hard sell for them to offer. And if they do offer it, and if they do sell it, one, how much smaller can they get it? Because the OG Xbox was huge. It was, I mean, it was extremely big. And the other question is going to be, like, how are they going to offer online? Is it going to have the Ethernet adapter? Is it going to be Wi-Fi? And if you start doing those things, the cost is going to go up. So it's not just going to be 80. It's not going to be $100. It's going to start getting up there. And by that point, you might as well just get the buy the OG Xbox and buy the games separately, because the games are not as expensive as the NES, Super NES, or even the PS1 games. When you start going back and trying to find those, which are either high price or rare. So yeah, it's going to be a hard sell. I don't think it would do well. I don't think Microsoft is going to contemplate doing it, especially since, like Dantes said on the tweet, they're continuing to push their backwards compatible titles, and that's where they're gonna they're gonna continue to do that side. They're not gonna do a classic.
Okay, that's good. Good answer. Good question. Okay, let's remember Propenso's question, because I think we're gonna touch on that, which is, what do Nintendo have to offer after all those big games drop to sell the online? But first impressions, RX Gaming, what is your first impressions of the Switch Online?
Let's go! It's time. Nintendo. Hold on, give me a second.
Okay, warm up. There you go, warm up. Go ahead, do your laps.
Nintendo, fix your online.
Some push-ups, some jumping jacks. Like get the blood flowing, the blood running.
I got my Switch right here. Let's talk about this. Okay. What I think about it?
Yep.
Okay. Cloud save and the NES library, Netflix type of stuff are not. It's not for 20. Like, what? I don't know why they. Okay, let me relax a bit. My words are not coming out because this is getting me mad.
No, you're good. You're good. Hey, let it out, bro. We're here for you. We're here.
Okay.
This is a counseling group right
now. Nintendo, how are you letting your customer pay this service, knowing damn well that the Wii U, which is free, has more features than the Switch itself? This makes no sense. I don't get it. And some people are talking about. Some people be like, "But bro, it's $20." And I'm like, you're literally paying for less feature. The Wii U has more feature than the Switch, and I thought the Wii U needed more feature. How can we downgrade like that? I don't know, man.
This sounds familiar, Caleones. I don't know. A wise man said the same thing last week. Just saying. This is a smart kid right here.
We got Mind Pro on the chat, like telling Alex, to go ahead and use some of his points, from the Switch Online. So it seems like you already had a discussion with him on that, and so go ahead and share some of those points with us.
Oh, he's saying that it should have been like, instead of NES classes, they should have went with N64 straight off the bat, which I understand. But I understand why they didn't go with that, because let's say if they come up with a N64 Mini, I don't think it will sell that much if they would have released it for the Switch first and then they come out with an N64 Mini right away. So that's why stuff like that. And also he said that we need voice chat on the damn system. we need a party. We need like if somebody playing Fortnite, he could come to my party and I could be playing Mario Kart or whatever. We need stuff like that. We need option, Nintendo. You're not giving us no option. I don't understand what's going on with Nintendo, to be honest. Oh my God.
See,
but yeah,
Nintendo,
go ahead.
It's sad. I'm gonna say it quickly. It's sad when you have fans like RX Gaming, suffering because in reality this service is not worth it. And everything that he's saying right now, I said it last week. I was disappointed. The reason I'm paying it right now is because me and Caleones did a family plan, and I'm gonna see if I'll bring more family members. I see if I could pay like 5 months a year for this, right? And to Nintendo's credit, you know what? I wanna be a little bit more positive before I let Caleones, because he's the Mother Teresa of Nintendo, so he's gonna bring all the positivity that he can. But I'm gonna say, positive is this family plan service is a smart idea. It's a way that you can make this passable. I guess you put it that way. If you find 4 or 5 buddies, put it all together, make the family plan happen, and then you're only paying like $5 or $6 a year. Then I'm okay with the service. That is the only positive. The other positive I will say is I finally got my 380-hour Xenoblade Chronicles back, safe in the cloud. Hopefully nothing will happen to that little save.
I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'll let you next. And my Breath of the Wild 300 hours save is all nice and safe on the cloud. So finally, I feel I sleep better at night with those 2 saves. But let me give a chance to RX Gaming. He wanted to say something. He was ready to throw it down. Go ahead, RX.
Nintendo. With the cloud save, you're telling me I cannot cloud save Splatoon? Look, I have like 800 hours in Splatoon. And that means if somebody rob my Switch or if it breaks in the ground, I cannot get my Splatoon back? My hours that I have in Splatoon?
Nope.
That is crazy. So you don't take your Switch outside, kids, because if you do, you're done. You're done.
Hey, I haven't seen Dig. Dig was I think he's one of the best Splatoon players that I've seen, and he had how many? 450 hours?
Like 550.
And he lost it all because his Switch went bye-bye. So that has already happened. We got those horror stories in our community, RX Gaming. But anyway, let me give a chance to Caleones. I know I was messing with Caleones, his Mother Teresa, but he can criticize Nintendo when he can. So let's see what he says. What are your early impressions, Caleones, of the Switch Online?
Okay, so one of the first things I'm gonna do is because Zero Propenso, he reminded us again about the Switch Online video that Nintendo released on their channel and their like to dislike ratio. So I went ahead and went over to that page again, and it has 8.6 thousand likes and 45,000 dislikes.
Wow.
So the ratio is completely disproportionated. It tells you how much people do not like the service. And I mean, on something like this, you tend to kind of like agree to the bigger group, the bigger crowd. So just so because we're a YouTube channel, we're still trying to get subscribers. So I don't want to alienate anybody. No, not really. It's because it really is a poor service. Like something that I mentioned last time is that. Like Live started their service in 2002. PlayStation Network started in 2006. So that's, basically 16 and 14 years of Nintendo seeing the good and the bad, seeing everything that happened and how, what works, what doesn't work. And they could have go ahead and gotten ahead of it and launched with something that really, it's worth it. I'll say that I'm happy that they are offering the NES games. Because I mean they need to like include something on there. I'm happy that they have the online and that the for the most part the Switch app or the online app on the phone is not it's bad, but at least it kind of like does something right. At least is that when you start a game playing on the Switch, you go into the app and automatically loads you into the conversation, so you don't have to go through additional like hoops and stuff, since you already have to go to a separate device, to begin with, which, like you said, it should be on the system. But yeah, cloud saves, very important because we have some games that have so many hours, but in your case, RX Gaming, it doesn't make any sense for Splatoon 2, which is probably right now the most played Nintendo game in the world, probably outside of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, because yes, a lot of people played Breath of the Wild. Yes, a lot of people played Super Mario Odyssey, but they play those games. They may have replayed them 2 or 3 times. But how much time do you spend online on Splatoon 2? How much time do you spend gaming? Like the only real backup that you have for your Splatoon 2 files are your YouTube videos of you playing the game. That's the only backup that you really have on those games. So it doesn't make any sense for a game that, for the most part, is an online game, that they don't have specific servers to save your profile and save those things. I know that they complain about, like people, like just going ahead and hacking the game and doing things to it, but they're already doing it to the game anyways without having anything in place. Maybe if they have the servers, they can like have additional protections for your information, for others, like better ways to know who it is that's doing those things, to keep them away from the other players. So it doesn't really make any sense. And I know that I like to say that hopefully Nintendo's going to use the money that they're making from this to invest on the service, to give a better service. But the thing is that they had so many years to plan it out and to release something worthwhile from the beginning that, like it is disappointing that, that it came out to be. Yes, at least, there's a silver lining, like everybody says. It's $20 and not $60. But the thing is that those are really, kind of like weak excuses because it's already is to a point anti-consumer that would have thrown it off a cliff, but it would have produced very entertaining Jim Sterling videos if it would have been priced at 60 instead of 20. But yeah, like Mind Pro is saying over here that at least Sony gives you time to renew to gain your cloud saves before they are deleted, and Microsoft doesn't even delete the data. The Nintendo just deletes the saves as soon as the subscription ends. So Bob, for that, before anybody says anything, there I actually do have to say is that I actually don't believe that Nintendo does delete the data right away. It's because the wording on the website, it is not explicitly like said on there. As I do believe that they do have a grace period at the very least, or they might not even delete it at all. But the thing is that it's not very clear, and they haven't really come out and said it. But for Sony, they were saying that it was a 6-month grace period, but it actually turned out that they'll basically keep it, forever. You just cannot access it while you don't have the PS Plus. Once you, subscribe to it again, that you can. And I believe that's going to be the same case for the Switch. We just need, like clarification from Nintendo that that's the case. The FAQs implying, and I did write an article, like talking about it, but it's not clear, and Nintendo needs to be clear, especially since the service is not a week old and people are having all these questions with it. So that's my take on the online, and hopefully they'll continue to learn, change, and improve, and hopefully it'll be faster. So we can get to that point and not wait a whole year or 2 years or 3 years until they find the happy medium.
So I want to give RX Gaming, you wanted to say something else. I wanted to give you a chance to rebuttal Caleones or add to it.
With the Microsoft thing, it's funny because isn't cloud saving free?
Yep.
Yep. So in my head, I feel like the only thing we are paying is the online, which is was free in the past.
In the
Wii U in the past, and we're paying for the NES collection.
Mm-hmm. Yep, correct.
$20. And with the online, get this, no dedicated servers.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Peer-to-peer.
What are we paying for?
For the privilege to connect with your friend.
Yep. That's it. That's it. The thing is, the only reason why I pay for the online is because I stream. And sometimes I like to play with my subscribers. The only way I could do that is to pay. And secondly, Smash is coming. So might as well just pay the online right now.
Oh, no. I mean, to me, the only reason you're paying is because Nintendo has us hostage right now. Nintendo have you by the balls. By the balls, and they're saying, I got this Smash coming up. I'm not releasing your balls. Are you going to pay or not? That's basically what Nintendo is saying right now, right?
Yeah.
But I did want to add to what you said too, RX Gaming. Microsoft, and I admit I'm not the best of giving props to Microsoft, but I said it last week and I'm gonna say it again. Cloud savings is free. It's free. And Sony, at least, is not free, but Sony gives you the opportunity to save your files to the hard drive manually. So that's free. You can do that. Just connect a hard drive, save whatever you need to save for those saves. So you really don't need PlayStation Plus to protect your saves. That's where Nintendo is way behind the times. And in reality, I'm only thing that I'm asking Nintendo that I think is anti-consumer is the they should allow you to manually save those files, pure and simple. They should allow people to save them without the need of the service. The NES Mini or the NES Classic, whatever you want to call it, the NES games should have been its own service. Just offer it like Game Pass with Microsoft. Microsoft saying you spend how many a month and you get access to all these games and leave the online for free. Because basically, to your point, RX Gaming, what you're paying is peer-to-peer. You're paying for the chance to connect with your own buddy. You're paying for the internet already. If it was dedicated server, okay, fine. But you're paying to just connect to your friend. So they're giving you, they're being so gracious, and that's what the video was. And Jim Sterling, go watch Jim Sterling's video. It is beautiful. He said it sucks how they sold you in the trailer, like they're offering online, which in reality they're just taking away something that it was free.
They show the cute Mario characters. They show the people playing, and then it didn't work because people saw through the evil plan. They saw them. They saw the mistake.
But people are buying it. In reality, the idea would be that we shouldn't be paying for this. But again, because Nintendo got you by the balls, they're saying, you want to play Smash? You got to pay for this. There's no way. Now, let's go back to what Propenso said. Propenso said, after the Smash fever dies down, will the service go down? And that's an interesting point. What does Nintendo have after Smash to keep the Nintendo fan base engaged with this service? That's going to be interesting and see what happens. But I don't know if you guys want to add to that. Do you feel that Nintendo has something else coming up that could maintain people in the service?
Metroid Online?
Oh, maybe if he has it. If he has it, true. If he has it, yeah. That's true. Caleones, anything that you think they can maintain it?
Well, I'll say this. Like, from PS1 is saying that on the video they were showing Mario with cloud saves. But it's actually not compatible with all the games. So and we saw the poor Luigi. Once again they're doing Luigi wrong because they had they broke his Switch. They made him feel horrible. They've already killed him off on the Smash video. So they keep doing Luigi wrong. I feel bad for him, but yeah, I mean, as far as and they were talking about MindPro was talking about how you can only buy the NES controllers only if you have the Nintendo Switch Online, and you can only buy one set per account. So Dantes, that might actually be a market for people that buy a family plan, so they can create 8 accounts. They can buy 8 of the NES controller sets, and then they can go ahead and sell them off. So there seems to be a market on there, since nobody can buy those controllers unless they have the Switch Online.
It's the stupid controllers anyway. I don't like the NES controllers at all.
To tell you the truth, I'm not gonna buy it. I don't. It gets me mad. Also, that gets me mad because you should just release it to the public.
Yeah, I'm with you. That should
they just chaining everything to the online because they know the online is not worth it. So they just everything. Oh, the controller, you have to get online. Oh, you want to play Smash? You have to play online. You want NES? You have to. They're.
I know. You know what I said last week, RX Gaming, and I'm gonna say this so we can close and move to the next topic. Yeah. But I said last week that Nintendo sometimes feels like that hot girl that you date, and then she cheats on you consistently, and she treats you like shit. But then she pulls out Luigi's Mansion 3. And she's like, oh, you want this, right, baby? And I say, yes, I want Luigi's Mansion 3. So I'm still going to be with Nintendo and play their games. And then she goes and slaps me around. And she cheats with my best friend by telling me, oh, you want to play Smash Online? You're going to have to pay for that. And I'm like, okay, honey, that's fine. I'll pay for it. I guess I'm your bitch. I guess that's fine.
Yeah.
But, hey, it's all good. I think hopefully Nintendo will do better. I think it's going to help that once the Smash fandom dies down, if the service goes down, Nintendo may come back and says, oh, we need to keep the engagement. Because what Sony and Microsoft has done with their service, remember, is, okay, they pull people in at first with the online playing being part of the service, and you have no choice. But they also know that they have to maintain that fan base, because a lot of that fan base is going to move on and say, I don't play an online game, I don't care. So then they give you the games with Gold, the PS Plus games, and
they're
stuff
gonna go
like
to
that.
PC as well. Yeah, PC. You don't really have to pay for anything.
Oh no, PC. I always say, and you always said it. PC peeps are the smartest people around. They don't take shit. They fight back, and then they never have to pay. You get all this service and Steam for free. So that is the sad part. But anyway, Nintendo, please hear your community, hear your fans, help us, and we'll support you. Anyway, Caleones.
And before we move, I want to say one last thing, and this is Mind Pro and Zero Propenso, they're actually right. I went over to eBay and I checked the Switch Online NES controllers on there, and they're already selling for $250 or more. So yes, it seems like people have been doing it, and they're jumping right away on it, and they're taking advantage of people that don't have the online. And so, I mean, at that point, you might as well just pay the $20 if you want the controllers. So
go ahead, Ryder. Right. Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. Which I don't understand. Why would people try to resell them? Because either way, you have to buy the online if you want to try that with the NES, because those controllers do not work with no type of games. Yes, NES games.
Yep, correct.
So I don't know why they're trying to resell it. If somebody, why are you trying to buy them even though you don't have online? I guess you're trying to collect them or something.
It's collection. I would say though, the person who's buying them on eBay for $200 is the dumb person. Like the guy who's selling it, he's a smart guy. Hey, props to you. You do your hustle. But the dumbass, just pay them the $20 online and then buy the controllers instead of buying it out of eBay just because you don't want to pay for the online. At that point, you're just being dumb if you're going to spend $200 for a damn NES controller, honestly. Anyway, with that, let's move on to the next hot topic, because today the show is big and we still haven't even finished hot topics. So let's go with the next one.
That's crazy.
Okay, so based on how you sent me the news, we have two different hot topics. Next, so one is going to be related to a game that used to be on Nintendo consoles and is no longer going to be an exclusive, and the other one is about microtransactions being included on a game. So, which one do you want to jump in right now, Dantes?
Start with Ace. Let's start with Ace, because then it's Capcom that leads us to the microtransactions. Okay.
Okay, so the next piece of news is that Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy is coming over to the Nintendo Switch. This is great news because the Ace Attorney series has been a staple of the DS, of the 3DS, and yes, it has been featured on smartphones as well, but it has always been a Nintendo console/handheld exclusive until now. Capcom has announced the Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy for the PlayStation 4, PC, and Xbox One alongside the Nintendo Switch. So this is the question: how do you guys feel about Nintendo losing one of their exclusives and Capcom trying to capitalize on the sales on other systems?
So I'll let RX Gaming, you go ahead and start. How do you feel about the loss of exclusivity of Ace?
First Monster Hunter, then this. But that game, I'm not a big fan of that game. So it's like, to me, it's a whatever. But it's them trying to bring it to Sony and Microsoft console is, to me, trying to get a little bit of sell, because why, that game is not graphical, in a sense. So it's not going to look pretty on a PS4 or an Xbox. I feel like it's going to look the same within the Switch. So why, I don't know why they took down that exclusivity from Nintendo, I don't get it. So if it's not going to look different, and the fan base is not the fan base that they have is not in the PS4 or in the Xbox, why are you moving on to a PS4 and
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Anything to add? Because I saw you were vocal about this. I also saw them. I'm too far away, so I apologize. So, first, I saw Caleones. He was vocal on Twitter. I also saw the Nintendo group that I do follow, vocal about this on Twitter, and how they felt. This is what I'm going to kind of lay it out, and then I'll let Caleones talk. They felt that Capcom gave away the exclusivity of Ace Attorney, but they didn't get anything back. Like, why didn't they get DMC5? Why didn't they get Resident Evil 2? Well, easy, because those games are not going to run on the Switch, in my opinion. But So why didn't get anything back? Monster Hunter, to RX Gaming's point, they lost Monster Hunter. So why, Capcom? Capcom, you're so evil. Why? So go ahead, Caleones.
Okay, so the reason why I was being vocal is because I want the Nintendo Switch to succeed. I want the Nintendo Switch to have as many opportunities to to have a one up over the other consoles. And a way that you're going to have it, since you're not going to have all the third party games that are going to be available on the PS4 and the Xbox One, unless you're doing kind of like cloud gaming, like with Assassin's Creed in Japan. But it is that, yes, these games matter to the Switch library. They may not be necessarily console sellers, but the games do have a crowd. They have a following, and they are expected to have those on the Nintendo system. So, people may have already bought the Nintendo Switch to get the game because they were looking forward to it, but now they see that it is available on another console. So for other people, they're probably not going to feel as well if they don't have a Nintendo Switch and they were waiting for this game or for this series to be announced to it, and they see that it's available for other consoles, which they probably have. They're not going to be motivated to go out and get the Switch. I don't really blame Capcom for doing it, because companies, they're for profit, for making money, and they're going to do whatever they can to get the money on here. What I feel, and this is a question I would say for Nintendo is, and for Capcom as well, was there any exclusivity contract signed on the previous games? If there was, did Capcom tell Nintendo, hey, if you want this series to continue being an exclusive on your Nintendo systems, then you have to invest X amount of money, or they've done with the Bethesda games, where Nintendo has been publishing their games, so they can assume some of the losses just in case the games don't sell as well. So maybe there was some sort of contract that maybe Nintendo wasn't willing to sign to keep it as exclusive, or maybe one of the things that Capcom said is, because we don't know about the new Ace Attorney game, which should be Ace Attorney 7. We know that the game is coming. We don't know if it's going to be a Nintendo Switch exclusive or not. They did say that it was coming to Nintendo. Maybe Nintendo made the deal of having Ace Attorney 7 an exclusive, and they gave up the exclusivity to the original trilogy. So maybe something like that happened. We see those things happening all the time. For me personally, it does hurt, because I was counting on games like Ace Attorney, like Professor Layton, like the Snack Worlds and the Yokai Watch, and like those type of games. I was counting on those games to kind of support the third party library, because those are games that they're not necessarily AAA titles, but they have their they're niche games, and they have their crowd, and they bolster the library for the Switch. So that's where I was coming from on my discussions about it. But it could have been something where it does make financial sense for Capcom. Maybe Nintendo could have done something or did something in order to give up the right of exclusivity to maybe gain something afterwards. So that's something that we probably have to wait and see. But it does hurt the library of the Switch a little. So were you gonna say something, RX?
Yeah, with the trilogy, if it's coming out for all platform, I feel like the newest game is gonna come out for all platform as well. I feel like they're trying to put the trilogy for the new game, to the new game, can try it out.
Yep.
Yeah, so they could try it out and stuff like that, and then when the new game comes, they'll be like, oh, that's a brand new game. Oh, let me cop that too. Let me get it too. So I feel like it's coming out for every platform. Yeah.
Yep. So let me give my piece. Of course, way different perspective than you guys on this one. So, let me put it this way. Caleones, have you seen any Sony fans crying when Nintendo Switch has taken a lot of RPGs from the PlayStation platform? I have been pretty vocal that I'm happy that those games are coming to the Switch, because that expands the library of those games. I want Persona 5 to come to the Switch. I want Ni no Kuni 1 and 2 to... Wait, I'm not done. Let me finish, bro.
I was going to answer your question. I was going to answer it.
Okay,
so
go ahead, son. Go ahead.
That's because you haven't. That's because you haven't gone over to Reset Era.
I don't go to those places because there's just a bunch of
all the Sony
dumbasses.
fanboys complaining about all the Final Fantasy games that are no longer exclusive. So that's
okay. It's a bunch of dumbasses. Bunch of dumbasses. Bunch of dumbasses. Because why in the hell would you complain about Final Fantasy, who are 20-year-old games, coming to the Switch? Who cares? My only because I don't go to those places because those places are toxic. I only have Twitter, and Twitter is a little bit toxic too. So I get enough toxicity out of Twitter. Let me keep it. Let me keep it there. Reset Era, no. The people who go there, the fanboys who fight, they need a hobby. Let me put it that way. They need a life. I need a girlfriend, a boyfriend, whatever they tinkle their fancy. But what I was gonna say is, my opinion is, I don't feel like the Nintendo fans should be sad about this. I feel that they should be happy because if the fan base grows for Ace Attorney, the other games become more popular. They're going to make sure that they keep making the franchise. In my opinion, you should be a fan of the game, not the company. And I texted this to Caleones this weekend because I've been pretty, I would say, disappointed in all the companies right now.
And with the next topic.
Yeah, and with the next topic that we're going to touch, I am tired. I'm not fan of Capcom. I'm not fan of Sony. I'm not fan of Nintendo. I am fan of their games. The company's job is to give me a product that I want to buy from them. It is not my job to fight for them. I don't care. I am not a shareholder. I don't own stock. I don't make any money from them to care this much if a game is exclusive or not. It is Nintendo's job, if they wanted to keep it exclusive, to make sure that to have worked with Capcom and make sure that that did not happen. I don't care. A reason I play Nintendo games is because they have the games that I like Xenoblade, like Zelda, like Mario, and all those games. That's why I'm a fan of those games, and the same with PlayStation. So losing this exclusivity, I don't think it's a big deal. And more for Ace Attorney. Like, oh my God. You know what was big, Caleones? When Sony lost exclusivities from Devil May Cry, from Metal Gear Solid. Sony, all the years, continuously lost big games of exclusivity to other platforms. But Ace Attorney? Really? Really?
Well,
are we really going to cry about Ace Attorney, Caleones?
Nintendo lost the exclusivity to Metal Gear Solid first before Sony did.
Touche. I'll give you that. Yeah, touche. Okay. Good rebuttal. Anyway, I think it's not a big deal. I honestly want games like Persona 5, Ni no Kuni, and all those great RPGs. I have been calling this Switch the RPG machine. This is where the RPGs are going to come and flourish. So you want all them big RPGs coming to the Switch. And I'm fine with that. Sony will get those games. If you own a Sony console, you will get those games. But if you own a Switch console only, it's good that it's coming because this is more for the people who can only own one console or are fanboy of one console. That's fine. It's all good. But for all those other people who owns multiple, then you have the choice. Choice is good. And portability for RPGs, I think, is a selling factor on the Switch. So that's why I'm really not worried that all these RPGs, because they're still going to come to Sony's platform and they're still going to come on Nintendo platform. Yeah. Who cares? Anyway, I don't know if you guys want to rebuttal me.
No, it's true. RPG is mostly for, Switch got that. Switch is, if you're on the, you can grind more on the Switch because you can take it anywhere.
Sony, I know.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was playing Xenoblade, I was grinding for blades. While we went shopping and did crap that I hate. That was perfect time to grind for blades and stuff like that, right? So that's what I'm saying. Like, I really don't think it's a big deal. And the Yakuza series, if Sega says someday, I want to bring it to the Switch, good. Sega, do what you need to do get Yakuza. Those are third-party games. You should not count third-party games as exclusives unless a company like Octopath Traveler, Square Enix said, this game, we're specifically making it for the Switch because we're thinking about the features of the Switch for that game. But that came out of Square. That did not came out because Nintendo paid them money for that. It's this developer from the Octopath Traveler series has always worked with Nintendo platforms. They feel comfortable with it. But third-party games should not be fought off because third-party games, really, they should be for everybody. Nintendo should build their first-party games that they need to sell their system. Sony needs to sell the first-party games to sell their system. And Microsoft maybe finally is learning that they need to sell their first-party games too to sell their system. So. Go ahead, Caleones. I know you want to add something. Come on.
No, I just want to make a mention, like, because Mind Pro, he was talking about how Undertale on the Switch does have added stuff that the PlayStation 4 doesn't have. So there's some content. It's not the game completely, but some content that is exclusive to the system. So yeah, this is things that companies do all the time. Mm-hmm. The perfect one was the one that RX Gaming said, because yes, it hurts to lose Ace Attorney, but losing Monster Hunter, that was the big one. That was one that for years and years. Here. Yeah, and yes.
Wasn't that on PlayStation first though?
But yeah, that's
okay. So again, it's not selling anything. I'm just saying. I just say Monster Hunter. It was on PlayStation first. Who cares? Okay. I really it's a decision Capcom. Okay. And Monster Hunter World. Hopefully will come to the Switch. If Switch was powerful enough, you would have Monster Hunter World. I'll bet you. So
yeah, we're probably gonna have Monster Hunter World Cloud. Is the version we're gonna have, since we got the Resident Evil 7 Cloud as well. So
yeah.
But RX, your thoughts?
Yeah. More third parties, please.
Well, we'll leave it with that, because next one. You're right. Now I defend the Capcom on this one, but we're gonna lead to now. I'm putting my foot. This is something that you guys should be crying about in the gaming community instead of Ace Attorney. But go ahead, Caleones. Hit it with the next piece of news.
Okay, so this one is going to be what we call a Dantes rant. He's been fired up ever since he heard it. Before this news came out, he was a little skeptical about the game. Then a new trailer released for the game, and he was like, "Oh my God, I'm sold on the game. The game looks awesome. Dante looks awesome on the game." And of course, we're talking about Devil May Cry 5. But now they've announced that Devil May Cry 5 will have microtransactions on the game, and it's not going to be just cosmetics. It's not just going to be so he can have his classic outfit from the original game or anything like that. It's microtransactions, so you can actually buy orbs with real life money, so you can level up the character faster and get those weapons faster. So one of the things that the developer was saying is that like some of the people, they're not really going to be interested in getting all the weapons. So for those that don't really want to get all the weapons and all the moves at first, they don't have to, do any of that. But with a game like Devil May Cry, you want to get all the weapons. You want to get all the moves. You want to get everything. So you can do anything and everything when you're playing and doing all the action, the shooting, the slashing. So Dantes, tell us how you feel about microtransactions on the game.
Okay, so let me start a little bit of a minute history with this franchise. Caleones, would you say that I'm a fan of Devil May Cry?
Okay, well, I mean, you almost named your son after Dante.
No way.
Yep.
Oh, God.
My profile picture right now on the on Skype. What is it, Caleones? Can you tell the peeps?
It is Dante.
It is Dante from Devil May Cry. So telling that I'm a huge fan of this franchise historically is a under a tale, because no pun intended, because in reality I love this franchise. I was happy. Devil May Cry 1 is one of my favorite games of all time in the PlayStation 2. Devil May Cry 3 is another great, awesome Devil May Cry game. Devil May Cry 2, we don't talk about it, but Devil May Cry 4 was a pretty good game. Then the DMC crap came out. So it's been rough for us Devil May Cry fans, because then the DMC reboot came out from Ninja Theory. While it wasn't a bad game, it was not our Devil May Cry. It was not our Dante. Then you finally get the trailer for this game, and I was skeptical because I saw a lot of Nero trailers, and I was like, okay, what will be Dante's role in this game, because he's my favorite character. And once I saw this trailer, the new trailer that I'm showing right now, I was like, okay, looks like they're gonna give good showcase to Dante. He's gonna be part of the game. He's gonna have its own story. It's basically 3 playable characters, so it's Nero, Dante, and 5 or V. that is going to be the 3 characters playable. So then I said, okay, so they got a bigger story in mind. It could be like Resident Evil 2, I believe, where you have the Leon story and then you have the Claire story, right? And those two were, they would meet each other in a sense during the story. I think that's great. Resident Evil 2 is one of the best games of all time, just to clarify, right? So I'm listening to all this. I'm pumped. I'm like, I tell Caleones just like a couple of texts before, 2 days before, I'm like, Caleones, I think I'm sold. This game is going to be fire. I'm going to play the shit out of it. I'm buying it day 1, March 8, 2019. I'm there. Capcom, you got my money. Then 2 days later it came out. The news about the microtransactions that you could pay real life money to upgrade your character. Real life money. So then the questions now start creep up in your head. Are they going to make the game so grindy that you're forced to pay money to be able to advance in the story? Because they do like, NBA 2K. They do like Shadow of Mordor. They did it before they took away the microtransactions. They put the grind so rough that they make people buy it because I'm not going to play Devil May Cry for 100 hours, right? It's a single-player game. Single-player games do not deserve to have any microtransactions. It is stupid. It is dumb that on a single-player game you put freaking microtransaction. That is 1. 2, the reason I brought it up, even though this is a Nintendo podcast and this game's not coming, Capcom, okay, Ace Attorney, okay, fine, it's fine. That's not a big deal. That's fine, Capcom. Increase your fan base. But then, Capcom, have you learned anything? You were on the brink of bankrupt because people were tired of your bullshit with DLC on the disc, with the microtransaction on fighting games up the ass, and all that shit just kept going and going and going. And then people were like, oh, we're not buying your games. You were this close from bankrupt. Now you're coming back. You're giving the game. Monster Hunter World has been great success. And you know why that game has been a success? It's just a game. You buy it, you play it, and then you sell the expansion pack.
Yeah.
Sell all that shit. Sell what you need to. Sell the DLC. Sell all that you want. I could have even said, okay, you want to put the suits of Dante, the old Dante Devil May Cry 1 suit for sale. I would have accepted that. But then you put microtransactions in this game, in this single-player game. I can't be a hypocrite. I didn't buy Shadow of War, and I still haven't bought it because they had the bullshit they had. And I platted the Shadow of War 1 the first game. So I have to stand my ground, and I will not be buying Devil May Cry 5 day 1 until I know from the reviews that the game is not a grind fest because of the damn microtransactions. And even then, I'm still thinking about it because I don't want to give my money to a company who's doing shit like this. Nintendo and Sony has given you guys the blueprints. If you're making a single-player game, if you make it the right way where players are going to enjoy it, they will buy it. Spider-Man just broke 3.3 million units sold of a single-player game. And you know what? That game did not have a single bullshit. Zelda Breath of the Wild, 11 or close to 11 million sold. The same with Mario Odyssey, 11 million. You know what those games have? They don't have bullshit. They sell fine, but they don't have bullshit because the players are they're gonna reward you, companies, if you do it right to them. Anyway, RX. I have to do a mini rant. I apologize. I am pissed at Capcom, but go ahead, my friend.
Yeah, you're a big fan. I understand that your struggles. And I don't understand why they put stuff like that on a single player game. On a single player game. And I forgot the name. You said it. Shadow of something.
Shadow of War.
Yeah, that game. Didn't they take it off because the fan were nagging them like, yo?
Yeah, they took it out because they made it a grind fest, and then people were not engaging, and they wanted to sell the DLC later. So they said, "Ooh, we better take it." So then people buy it at $20 now because a lot of people like me boycotted the game. I have Shadow of Mordor, the original game here. Yeah. I platted the game, and you know that game had DLC. Which is fine. I'm fine with deal. Even though I hate it, I can accept do the expansion packs. That's fine. Don't put microtransaction in single player games. But go ahead, RX.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Like if they would have put you buy something like costume, you buy a costume, you buy a cool weapon that does the same, cosmetic.
Yeah.
If they would have put in cosmetic, it'll be fine. But like people are mad because it's just, is it loot boxes or?
No, it's not loot boxes, but the problem is affecting the gameplay because the game is gonna have leaderboards. So people who buy all the microtransactions early, they're gonna get up the leaderboard really quick. Yeah. So the people are gonna be like, so you basically, if you're a money bags, oh, you go first day. Oh, I just want all the items for Dante. I'm gonna upgrade him. I'm gonna upgrade Nero. I'm gonna upgrade V. Boom. I pay $100 extra. I'm done. I just save 60 hours of gameplay easily because I played the original Devil May Cry to upgrade Dante on both the Devil May Cry games. It took you a while. I'm not denying it. You had to play in normal. You would have to get a lot of orbs, and then you probably have to play in hard to finish. And there was always New Game Plus, so you would always take the new skills that you got to the next until you got to Dante Must Die, and that was the big victory, beating it on Dante Must Die with all the skills. So now you don't have to do that. You're basically telling your players, hey, F you. I don't think you want to play our game. Just pay us money and just get it over with quickly.
So I'm thinking that they are going to put it like it's going to be like a Battlefront 2 situation when they make the grinding super hard.
Yep.
And they're making you, you can't get Luke Skywalker? Well, there you go. Buy it. You want this? Oh, stuff like that. So I'm pretty sure, yeah.
And that's the sad part. And that's why I'm hoping Capcom changed their mind. I'm hopeful. I tweeted even at Capcom today or yesterday, I don't even remember now, saying how dumb this is. I would implore the gaming community. This is the stuff that instead of fighting over which piece of plastic is better, stuff like this should be what we should be fighting for. Letting Capcom know that we're not accepting this, that you better make sure that the game is well balanced and don't put any micro crap on a single player game. We got many examples. Nintendo, you know what? I give shit to Nintendo about their online, but thank you, Nintendo, because at least you don't put bullshit in your games. You don't put microtransaction in your games. Breath of the Wild, 300 hours. I was pretty engaged. Yeah, there was some stuff like hard mode behind a paywall. That's a little bit a nitpick there, but at least they didn't have loot boxes or microtransactions. And they have some expansion packs that maybe come back and keep playing the game. Same with Xenoblade. Xenoblade is the best game of all time in how you do DLC right, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Golden Country on Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is its own freaking game. And you're paying basically $20 to $30 for an expansion pack that is giving you a second game. That's how you do DLC right. Mm-hmm. So anyway, I don't know if you want to add anything to that, Eric.
Yo, that's the only thing I give Nintendo like props, man, because hey, a new DLC coming out for Splatoon. It's a brand new story mode. They didn't have to put the story mode in, but it's a brand new story mode. Has more stages than the original story mode that they put in the Splatoon 2. They always go out of the way to give us the best
value
for our money. And when it comes to like other games, like third party, they be like, oh, $30 for a new map online, or $40 for
an expansion with 3 story modes that is like an hour a piece, right? Like Batman Arkham Knight. I'm looking at you. So anyway.
It's
frustrating, and this is what I'm saying, that we need to fight this more than fighting about a piece, which best piece of plastic, Anyway, Caleones, anything to add to this? You haven't had a chance. I know that we've been, RX and me have been ranting about this right now, so we'll give you a chance to talk.
Well, just been pretty entertained. So like what everybody should hear is that Dantes, he really takes things personal. Like if he doesn't like something, he doesn't like it. Period. And that's like what I like that he mentioned about Shadow of Mordor and Shadow of War. That he platinum one game, but then he stayed away from the other one completely because of the microtransactions and all of that. And even though they've taken him away, I don't think you've played it yet, right?
Nope.
So and you might
I'm still not giving him my money yet. I'm still because the problem is it's how many times does a company has to go, oh, we fucked up, but we took it away. We're sorry, we took it away. And then they do it again. And Capcom, I thought, had learned their lesson.
Yeah.
And they still did it again. And this is sad because I can't be a hypocrite, Caleones. If I gave crap to Shadow of War, I have to give crap to one of my favorite franchises of all time, no matter how much it sucks, how much I hate it because that trailer looked fire. I have to stand my ground. And until I see the trailers, until I see the reviews and everything is clear. And I mean just reviews because a lot of reviews said Shadow of War, that the microtransactions were not intrusive, and then we found out that it was really intrusive. So I have to give it time to get it from the peeps, from the crowd, for the players to hear the truth if it's really grinding or not from even for the reviewers. So
I'm just scared that they're focusing more on how to make people pay for the what you said, the spirit or whatever, the orbs.
Red orbs. That's how you upgrade the characters. Yeah.
So I'm afraid that they're putting their mind on that, and how can we make it harder instead of like how can we make this story mode better than other Dantes, you know?
Yep. Yeah, I'm with you 100%. They should do a DLC, do a better DLC pack.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, like Eric said, the game itself can suffer. The quality of the game can take a hit because you're putting all this energy to try to see how much more money you can make off of people instead of just making the product better. So yeah, like you were talking about Monster Hunter World. There is DLC. There is going to be DLC for Monster Hunter World, but the DLC is actually free. And it's actually free. They said it from the very beginning. The updates are going to be free for the game. And you know what Monster Hunter World is? The highest selling Monster Hunter title ever. And this is because, yes, they're giving you a single-player experience, but they're giving you a multiplayer experience and added content for free. Like, you know how much Splatoon on the Wii U sold? And it was a brand new title. Nobody knew about it, but it's because Nintendo constantly gave you free updates, more maps, more ranked battle, more, like Splatfest and all that stuff. They kept giving you things for free, and people, what they do, now the game didn't drop in price. It wasn't because the game went down to like $5 or $10. The game was still selling for $50 and $60. It because they kept giving you content after content to justify the purchase of it. Same thing they're doing with Splatoon 2. Same thing they're doing with Breath of the Wild, with Xenoblade Chronicles 2, which, like Dantes said, we already had a podcast about it, and we called it the greatest expansion pass ever. And that's because you get basically 2 games for free plus all the additional content as well. And the game, the new game is just not. It's not just a new story. Like the battle system is changed. Like there's the worlds are changed. Like they made, they went into so much detail that yes, it is a brand new game. So the idea of Capcom is just go ahead and give Dantes, yes, offer the costumes from the other games. Yeah, like if you want to have people pay for the costumes, then yeah, go ahead and do that. People are gonna pay for it. If I get Devil May Cry 5, I would like to look like the original Dantes from the first game and have that outfit. So I would probably pay like $2-3 or something like that if I wanted to. But just give us that option. Don't force us into certain things, especially when it comes to game mechanics for weapons, for arts and fighting and all that stuff. So and hopefully this is not going to be a practice that's going to continue. Yes, it's actually continued and gone longer than I hoped it would, because it hurt the sales for Star Wars Battlefront 2. It hurt the sales for Shadow of War, but companies still continue to do it, and then they make it a big deal of, oh yeah, congratulations, we're gonna be removing all these paywalls and different things, so now you can finally go ahead and jump in if you haven't already and buy our game. So that's that practice doesn't work, and hopefully it's gonna be something that Nintendo is not gonna gravitate to, because so far they've been doing a great job when it comes to it.
So MindPro brought up the Nintendo phone games that they have microtransactions. And the only thing I'm going to defend it with, at least those games are free to play in a sense. If you're free to play the game, then, that's how you make the money. Okay, that's fine. And phone games, I don't care about phone games because really.
Yeah,
go ahead, Alex.
No, phone games are, to me, I don't want to offend anybody, but to me, phone games are not games to me.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's suited to kill 5 minutes or whatever, and that is the market that the phone companies have created anyway. As long as Nintendo don't do it in my console games, I'm good. So
Yeah.
anyway, 1 hour and 20 minutes today. Long show. I see we're done with hot topics. We have to go into news burst quickly. So what is news burst for our gaming? We're going to go rapid fire with the stories, and we just give a quick opinion about them. So anyway, with that said, let's start with Onuma's news burst. Still need to get a soundbite. Anyway, Caleones, what is the first piece of news on news burst tonight?
Okay, so the first piece of news, since we were talking about the Switch Online, like what it does include. So yes, it includes the cloud saves. It also includes the that you can actually have.
I gave you that one for the big one. There's no Nintendo Online news.
No, I mean, there's certain details that we didn't mention, which is having the different purchases that you can actually download on other systems as well. So that's something that I wanted to run over because we're gonna try it out. I wanna there's certain games that I purchased that I want to download the profile on your system and see if we can like both play it. So just to add value to it. The next one that we were talking about is that there was a really nice story a couple of days ago. It was of this cancer patient that he has, terminal cancer, and one of his wishes was to play Super Smash Brothers Ultimate before like he may, just in case he may pass away and not get to enjoy it or live until the game comes out. So Nintendo, they arranged it. They took the system and the game and a demo unit to the hospital, and he was able to enjoy it with his friends. So that was a really nice gesture. And those are the things that, as a Nintendo fan, really makes me feel happy about the company. So anything you want to add, guys?
Go ahead, Alex, if you want to say something.
Yeah, Nintendo, I noticed how Nintendo had the biggest heart out of the big three. Because there's the earthquake in Japan. Oh, we got to cancel the Direct. There's this. Oh, we got to cancel it. They pro people. Like, they're so respectful. And it's just, it makes me happy, to be honest. When it comes to like the guy, suffering from cancer, it made his day. Nintendo are so like Nintendo shouldn't Nintendo don't have to do something like that, like, you know what I mean? But like they have a big heart that they want to please every fans with their wishes,
So yeah,
it's amazing.
After so much stories about sadness and about anti-consumers, I think that's why I put that story in there. I wanted something more positive, honestly. I was gonna say too that Nintendo did this to also a guy who was a big fan of Zelda Breath of the Wild or Zelda in general, and they brought the game for him to play before he died. And it's funny because I read that story too. When Nintendo announced the Switch, they announced the release date for Zelda Breath of the Wild. And he turned to his mom and said, "Oh, it's in March. It's coming out." That was February when they announced the Nintendo Switch, and the guy said to the mom, "I think I'm gonna make it and be able to play Breath of the Wild." But he did not make it. He died just like a week before Breath of the Wild was gonna be released. But at least he got a chance to play Zelda Breath of the Wild on before he passed away with the demo at least. So again. That's a sad story, but I wanted to bring some positivity and life's short, and sometimes we leave the world too early and we don't get to enjoy our favorite things one last time. So anyway, Kyle, let's go ahead with the next one.
Wow.
Okay, and going over with the next one, and this is coming straight from the NPD. They're stating that Nintendo hardware sales are at their strongest point to date since 2011. So this is a Matt Piscatella. And he was talking about how hardware spending in August 2018 grew 28% when compared to a year ago to 214 million. So we already know that Nintendo Switch is a success. We know how great it's been doing, and like this is one of the things that like makes us feel like Nintendo is on the right track and that they will continue. So what do you guys think about Nintendo being at their highest since 2011, which is before the Wii U release?
That's fine. I mean, the Switch is selling well, so I don't know. I think this is just adds to the story of how well it's selling. So I don't think it's a surprise. Let me put it that way.
Yeah, the Switch is a hot system. I mean, I'm not surprised to, that it's selling that well.
Okay, so going over to the next one and continuing with the NPD results. These are the top 20 selling titles for August. So number 1 was Madden 19. Number 2, Monster Hunter World. Number 3, Monster Hunter World because it did release on PC. So a lot of people, like we're going to the game and it's continuing to do great. We have Rainbow Six Siege at 3, 4, Grand Theft Auto 5. The game just doesn't die. And this is, I think it's been on the MPD something like 65 weeks, and it's been on the top 20 64 of those weeks. So Mario Kart 8 at number 5, Naruto, 2 Boruto, number 6, God of War 7, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, number 8, Breath of the Wild, number 9, and Super Mario Odyssey at number 10. So as far as the top 10 selling titles for the Switch was Mario Kart 8, Deluxe, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, number 2, Odyssey 3, Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate at 4, Tennis Aces, number 5, Octopath Traveler 6, Splatoon 2 7, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze 8, Captain Toad Treasure Tracker 9, and Minecraft at number 10. So those are the sales for the MPD.
Quickly, I'm just going to say, I think all companies are doing really well. I think they said that it was one of the closest race of all time this month with between the systems. So again, all companies are doing well, and glad to see. So,
yeah. When it comes to gaming, I'm surprised Minecraft is still doing that well. Holy hell!
Oh, that game is like Grand Theft Auto. It's never gonna die. Trust me.
Yeah, that game is crazy. But yeah, I'm not surprised. Those games like in Madden, it's crazy how simulation games are doing so well still.
Yeah, a yearly game though.
Yeah,
a game that comes out every damn year. God damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when it comes to Madden, only 2 times Madden has not been the number 1 selling game in August, and it was because those 2 times it released in September. So that was the only reason. So it's always been number 1. But moving on to the next one, and this is from Japan, and something that Dantes, I'm pretty sure he wanted to include on here, and it's that Xenoblade Chronicles 2 receives an award for excellence. And this was from Soraya Saga, which she's been working on pretty much all the Xeno games, starting with Xenogears.
Hey, Takahashi's wife, come on.
Takahashi's wife.
Yep.
And good for him. Takahashi. But yeah, he's the game received the award for excellence at CSSA Japan Game Award 2018. So congratulations to Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and it's continuing to do great. So any thoughts, guys?
Go ahead, RX.
I'm proud of Xenoblade. I'm proud. That's the only game that made me feel a type of way. Like it made me feel emotional. And no other game have made me feel like that. So that game is perfection. I like it. I enjoy it more than Zelda, to be honest.
Yeah. Hey, trust me, I understand that.
Yeah.
I was gonna say quickly that if you enjoy this game a lot, I would hopefully someday they release the original Xenoblade Chronicles 1 on the Switch with HD graphics, because people like you will get a chance to enjoy it. And Xenoblade Chronicles 1 is one of my favorite games of all time. And I still felt that the story, not on gameplay, but on story, is still better than Xenoblade Chronicles 2. So hopefully someday you'll get a chance to play that one.
Okay, so going over with the next one, and this is from US Gamer. And this is something that it was a big story. One is that The Walking Dead, the final season, will not be completed. And why it won't be completed? And it is because Telltale Games is closing doors. Yeah. They're going to be finishing on the Walking Dead season 4, and then that's pretty much going to be it. I think there's another title they're going to be working on, and one of those is the Minecraft. It's Minecraft for Netflix. I believe it's going to be the other one as well. But then they're going to be gone. So right now I feel good because companies like Ubisoft have extended their hands, and they're reaching out to the developers that have lost their jobs. It's close to 250 people that lost it. Wow. So sadly, those games, like the Stranger Things was one of those games that was being made. The Wolf Among Us 2 was another one that was being made as well, and it's been canceled. And the last season of The Walking Dead, of course. So really sad news. One, that people are not going to get to enjoy those games, but most importantly, because of all those people that have lost their jobs and now they're struggling to find another place.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Arx.
I feel bad that people just lost your. It's hard to be a game developer. It's hard. You don't look at the guy who made Lawbreakers and I forgot then they move into a battle royale game. They lost their
Yeah, you're saying Cliffy
developer
V.
team.
Cliffy V.
Yeah. It just tell me how scary it is to be a developer, man. Because if you put out a project, it doesn't. And something told me that.
Hey, RX, we're losing you, just in case. I think you're cutting out.
Games don't sell that well. Like, I don't know how well they sell, but I don't think.
Yep, I think we lost him.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'll go ahead and continue over.
Yeah.
Hello?
Okay, we can hear you now.
Okay, I said tell. I don't think tell that much. Did I freeze again?
Yeah, you're cutting in and out. I think it's your internet.
Yeah. Just go ahead. Switch it to the other person.
Don't worry. What I'll do is I'll continue with the rapid fire for the news. Just since it's been an hour and 30 minutes, and so we can go ahead and get closer to the end. But yeah, the next one is that the Nintendo Switch version of Dragon Quest 11 has been announced or confirmed to be coming to the Switch. It's going to be called Dragon Quest 11S. S stands for special. How special is it going to be? We don't know yet. We're still waiting to get more details. But people, just be reassured that the game is still coming over to the Switch. Next one is going to be that Platinum Games says that the development on Bayonetta 3 on the Switch, it's going very, very well. They did say that it is nice to be able to tell you that everything is going very, very well. We're all very excited about what we're doing on that game. So we haven't really seen anything else from Bayonetta 3 except for what we saw at the Game Awards. So do you guys think Bayonetta 3 is going to be able to make it out on 2019, or is it going to be pushed back to 2020?
Oh, no. I feel like it is going to be in 2019.
Yep.
Definitely.
I agree with him.
Yeah. I don't think Bayonetta. Because if you look back to old Bayonetta games, they're not like a big game. It's mostly like you beat them up onto the next one. So it's not like people love the game for the fighting. The story is okay. I have the game right now, and I feel like a game like Metroid will be like 2020 because there's more story based. My opinion.
Yep. No, I agree. Bayonetta should be out in 2019. Bayonetta, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if you know this, RX Gaming. Bayonetta is made by the original creator of Devil May Cry. So you're gonna see a lot of the DNA from Devil May Cry plays really similar to Bayonetta. But yeah, it's gonna come out, and good for Nintendo. Keep supporting this game.
Okay, moving over to the next one, and this didn't really take long. So we already talked about the Nintendo Switch Online. We started on the 18th, but by the next day, the NES emulator had already been hacked. So, people are not losing any time when it comes to trying to hack the console, hack the services. And even though I really don't support, the hacking or anything like that, but yeah, it seems like whatever measures Nintendo tried to take, they weren't enough because it only took them one day to be able to hack the service.
Yep. To me, this shows you that you shouldn't be worried about the save for Splatoon.
Thank you.
Yeah, they're gonna hack. They're gonna hack. Who cares? Just make sure that the people who support you, your fans, don't get shafted because of it. So.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me move to another room.
Okay. So yeah. So we'll go ahead and just on interlude while we have RX Gaming make sure that he gets more lighting on his face so he can look even
Yeah.
if you're on the camera. So.
My house is pretty small, so it's like there's a lot of people in. But yeah, I just hold it like this. But
You're good. Don't worry.
yeah. So I don't. They're talking about cloud save this, cloud save that, but Nintendo, they're still hacking you. I don't understand why you're so worried about getting, being about cheaters, because that's why they don't put cloud save on Splatoon, because they're worried about cheaters, but they're not worried about the people hacking them already.
Yeah.
It's so like get your game up, Nintendo.
Agreed. Go ahead,
Yeah.
Caleones.
Okay, going over to the next one, and this is that Fortnite Season 6 has been delayed until the 27th of September. And this weekend, even though the weekend is ending, they were running a 400 XP, 400% XP bonus on the weekend. So I was, personally trying to take advantage of my son's character to try to level up a little quicker. In Kenji, she had already leveled up all the way up, to 100 on the game, so she didn't need to. But it was one of those big news because Fortnite, it might or might not be losing some of its luster, like Matt Piscatella said from the MPD, but it is still the biggest game in the world. So that's why we felt like having it on here.
Yeah.
Okay, and going over to the next one, and is that NIS president Shohei Nikawa said that I definitely feel the Nintendo Switch is a very appealing platform. And to quote him, he did say, I definitely feel the Nintendo Switch is a very appealing platform. And what I mean by appealing is that at home, you can play it on your TV, and then you can pick it up and play it on the go as well. It's a platform that's perfect for people all over the world, that meets everyone's needs. And as a company, Nippon Ichi Software wants to continue to release more and more games on it. What really contributed to that decision was Disgaea 5's success on the platform. We were actually surprised in terms of sales for North America and Europe. It did much better than our expectations. So, as we know that, Disgaea 5 Complete did release on 2017 on the system. The sales were, they were exceeded NIS America's expectations. And that's why we have seen great support from NIS America, since then. So, just glad that NIS America likes the Nintendo Switch and that they are saying that they will continue to support it.
Okay.
Oof, like I said, money. Like I said, some people were talking about when the Switch started. They were like, "Oh, third party is not gonna come to the Switch. The low power, this and that." And I'm like, "Bro, money talk. Okay, the Switch is selling well. Third party will come, and look at now. We have Doom, we got Wolfenstein, we got all these games that are coming. Money moves system. Like if your system is not selling, people are not going to put their games on your system. My opinion.
Yep.
They're a company, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and going over to the last piece of news, and this is that Arcade Archives Donkey Kong Jr. coming to the Nintendo Switch. The game is going to be released. Well, it's been announced that it's coming over to the system, but will be the next game to arrive to the Nintendo eShop. They haven't exactly said when the game will be arriving, but that's going to be the next one that we can expect. And with that, Dantes, we've actually done with the news burst.
Appreciate it, Caleones. Thank you for the quick fire. But I think it's time to move to our favorite store. So what is the hottest games coming out this week, Caleones? And what is the store that we need to go to?
It is Shigeru's Supermarket.
Bing. Go ahead, Caleones. What are the games this week? Well, let me show it. The only game that matters. Let me show it right here. This is the only game that matters. But go ahead, Caleones. I'll keep it up here.
Okay, so the games that we have released for this week are The Swindle, Undertale, Sword of the Guardian, Speed Brawl, Scribblenauts Mega Pack, Worm. We had the Nintendo Switch Online, the NES system. We also had the Legendary Fishing, Labyrinth of Refrain, Coven of Dusk, Capcom Beat 'em Up Bundle, Siegecraft Commander, Velocity 2X, The Gardens Between, D-Card, Poker, Texas Hold'em, Blackjack, and Page 1, Sega Ages, Sonic the Hedgehog, Sega Ages, Lightning Force, Quest for the Dark Star, Risk of Rain, Retimed, Reigns, Kings and Queens, Mitsurugi Kamui Hikai, Magicat, Light Fingers, Hover, Find the Balance, Cyberlip, A Case of Distrust, My Brother Rabbit, Debris Infinity, Broken Sword 5, The Serpent's Curse, Excite Bikes, and of course the one that you already showed everyone, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Torna, The Golden Country. So Dantes, which one is your game of the week? That's just absurd to ask.
It looks weird because RX Gaming just fell, so now we look like a little square for me, and then you have like a long square for Caleones. Anyway. I don't know if hey, there you go. RX is back. Let me put him down. So.
No, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
Okay, so we were talking about our games of the week. So Dantes is saying that Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Torna, The Golden Country is his game of the week. But like everybody was saying on the chat, we had another big one that came out this week, and it is Undertale.
It doesn't matter. There's only one game this week. It doesn't matter. This game. I don't care about Undertale. This is the only game that you need to go and buy this week. Anyway, sorry about that. Go ahead. Go ahead and say it on Undertale.
So we're gonna close it out. But Eric Gaming, are you for Undertale or for Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Torna, The Golden Country? Which one? You gotta pick one. Pick one.
Well, I just started playing Undertale. Not that far. So I'm gonna say Xenoblade. I'm sorry, Xenoblade 2.
There you go.
So
now with that answer, you can come back to the show next week. Anyway.
But also we might have lost Mind Pro. He's not gonna be happy that we haven't chosen Undertale. I believe with what he said, for Mind Pro, his game of the week is definitely Undertale.
Okay.
I'm so hurt. Oh no. I'm sorry, Mind Pro.
But anyway, with that said, we're done with the show. We're ready to roll. But of course, before we end the show, we have to put a little bit of Xenoblade music so we get in the mood.
Yeah, and Alex Gaming, don't go anywhere. Stick around so we can talk a little after it's done.
Okay.
Well, wait. Here we go. There we go. Now we're banging our heads. Let's go. There, now I got it. I had it on mute, so I apologize. There's always a little bit of a technical hiccup. You have to give me a break. I'm hosting the show, and at the same time, I'm running the control. So, anyway, with that said, we're ready to roll out. First and foremost, I want to thank our special guest today, RX Gaming. Please remember, give him a like, give him a sub, go there, comment, enjoy his content, and go to his YouTube channel, which is RX Gaming. Anyway,
don't wait, hold on. Don't, because there's two RX Gaming, and then people go to the other one instead of the me.
Okay, so link is gonna be on the chat, so please remember.
Hey, I went ahead and put it on there.
Put it on there. Hey, just be a fan and just subscribe to both. Just play it safe. Just say. But anyway, with that said, I want to appreciate everybody who stopped by to the Get In and Get Out Nintendo Podcast, episode 62, right here at the Force In Unison Gaming channel. Please remember to subscribe, like, comment, and hit that bell so you can make these three crazy MFs happy. Also remember, hey, if you don't want to see ugly faces, solution is right there in front of you. Go to SoundCloud and iTunes and download this podcast for free. Rate us over there so you can show some love. Also, go to the description box below so you can see the full channel schedule. Remember, Monday, PlayStation Monday, Wednesday, Nintendo Wednesday, Friday, Fortnite Friday, and Saturday, Force In Unison streams. Also, Facebook page at Force In Unison Gaming. And finally, Dantes says finally, go to forceinunison.wordpress.com and give some clicks and love to my boy Caleones. With all that said, thank you again for joining us. Good night, everybody.